Hi guys, this is Shy Hard Nerd J5 here, and welcome back to my channel. So before I begin the video, good news, I got myself a new laptop, so I'm all set up with new gear and equipment. A few technical difficulties setting it up. Unfortunately, I lost quite a bit of data, some important stuff, and I pretty much had to redo some other videos that I was eventually going to use for making these videos. Long story short, it's been a bit of a kerfuffle, but don't worry. I'm feeling optimistic, and what I've lost I can easily redo, so I'm not going to let that get me down, and it's taken me a while to finally get this video up and running, so here we are, and let's get into it. So ever since I was a kid, I've always loved anything with a story. The stories that I was read when I was a kid, to the stories on like the movies I watched, the video games I played, but I never fully ever considered ever writing my own story. So I've always just been an artist, creating, designing characters, doodling, the general stuff. But I remember I started doing writing just to see if I was capable of writing anything, and it was just more for fun. I mean, the only written stuff I ever did was like when I was in primary school for like those projects you had to do when you had to come up with stories, and then of course in school. But around the time when I was like finishing high school, going on to my early days of college, I started doing fanfic writing. I did one about Deadpool. I created my own stories, my own short stories. One about a knight and a dragon. The other one, I created my own characters for an Australian cartoon TV series. I never got the chance to finish all these because I was just messing around. But I did find myself enjoying writing, even though my spelling skills are so-and-so. Not too bad, but they're not like the greatest. But the best part about writing on a laptop or anything like that, there are programs that can help you with the spelling. So after a while, I just found myself just doing more writing, but then I just never really took it off the ground. But then a couple of years later, I asked myself what I wanted to do to try and get my work out there, my imagination, my characters, and all of what I created out there for other people to see. So I was suddenly hit with the epiphany idea, why don't I try to create my own book series, or at least create my first book. So in college and university, there were various times when I was given a chance to do writing for story ideas towards my art projects. But I didn't fully take it seriously when it came to the writing part. I was more hands-on, physical creator than when it came to the writing. But then afterwards, when I finished college and uni and graduated, over time I began to think what I wanted to further try and do with my art and my writing. So I then started to come up with an idea of my own story. So I began to first come up with character ideas, which I always started out with designing the characters, and then going on from writing the story based around those characters. But then I started to work on the story. I had many ideas, but then as time went on, I kind of went back on those ideas. It was a sort of a take one step forward, take unfortunately 5 steps back. And this was a period that went on for a very, very long time. And I've got journals that just tell you of the process that every idea I worked on, I went back on because it wasn't settling right. And then there was the characters. I gotta tell you, it was a combination of I wasn't solidly convinced on what I was creating, and also because I procrastinate so bad. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like the equivalent of trying to pick a road, trying to pick which direction to go. And instead of just going left, right, a left, and then another left, I'm just like, just all over the road. I'm just like panicking. It's like, oh, which way should I go? Should I go left or right? And I'm panicking. Look, oh, good luck, everybody. Ah. Yes, the joys of my brain. Oh, yes, I love it. I love it. I'm not crying. But, eventually I, took a step back, took a breather, and I've now starting to, build something now. I've got the, general main characters for the good guys. I got the main characters for the bad guys. I'm slowly starting to build on the characters, the script, and how it's going to start, how it's going to end. And fortunately, before I started working on the main story, I came up with different other stories to work on, and chapters and names and all sorts of different stuff. And from those ideas, they've helped me to work on the main story. So any little bits and pieces that I've worked on before are helping me to create something now. And even now, as I'm, creating these videos, and when I'm in work, I'm finding time to take a moment to write on my story. So because I'm writing on my phone, or I'm writing on my new laptop or my pad. I did have stuff before that I worked on that I was going to keep as to look back on as reference. But like I said, when I was setting up all my new equipment, there was just a massive technical glitch. And oh my god, I lost a lot of the stuff I worked on before. It was bad, but it wasn't something that was gonna knock me down too quickly. I eventually got back up, shook it off, and I just thought, you know what? I still got the main stuff I'm working on, so I just carried on. So, I don't want to give out any spoilers, because I'm going to be talking about the characters in the coming videos that I will release. Like the good guys, the bad guys, the other stuff about the story. So what I can at least tell you is that it's the equivalent of one of those buddy monster series. Is like you got Pokemon, Digimon, and then you got other stuff like buddy fighters or card captors, or just any of those sort of anime cartoons that you would have seen when you were a kid, or at least when you were when I was a kid, in the early 90s, early 2000s, or even present day. So pretty much it's my own sort of buddy monster book series, or at least maybe just one book. I don't know how long this is going to be stretched out to, but I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about it, but not giving too much away. I'm going to be talking about the characters, their personalities, what they're going to be like, but not spoiling too much on the characters and the story. But I can at least give you the gist of what the story is going to be about. So it's going to be based in Cardiff City, or at least in Wales. And it's pretty much involving a brother and a sister, which I've based off two of my cousins, which I love them very much, and amongst my other family members, little references to my families, maybe in the names. So it's pretty much equivalent of finding important pieces which could change the course of another world. So it's like one of those stories of like characters from another world coming into this world, and it's kind of like a scavenger hunt sort of story. But of course, you've got the main bad guys, who are an evil organization who are trying to locate these items in order to gain the power and to bring about their own what they're trying to do. So I'm sorry if I'm not explaining it well. Like I said before, when it comes to the physical creating, I'm much better. When it comes to the verbal explaining, I tend to jump or glitch or stutter. But I allow my art, my work to speak on my behalf, which makes it much louder than it actually is, or as best as how I can explain it. So I've been working on this since 2015, so that's about 12 years, and like I said, it's been a step forward, step back process, but I think I'm going in the right direction now. So all I can do now is keep writing, keep the momentum going, try to every day try to make it step by step by step, and then once I've finished it, share it and see what you guys think, and just hope for the best, because I really don't know how this is gonna go. It may not take off, it may be a flop, because as like they say, the first draft of anything is shit. And I'm not expecting it to be like a masterpiece or anything, but I thought, why not just attempt to try it. I mean, my sister, when I was asking her for advice on this, and she was a help, she gave me some ideas, some tips, and just like some suggestions from her perspective. But she did say, when it becomes to making a book or writing, it's a big sort of area, and there's a chance I may not be able to get my work out there when it comes to writing a book, which she's not wrong about. It's like everybody's trying to write, everybody, but that's like the same with artists. Everybody's trying to do it. Only thing I can do is to at least try and zigzag, try to get my work seen by others. They may not see it, they may see it, they may not, I'm not too sure. But the thing is, my family are very supportive. My parents, my sister, my cousins, all my family members, my aunties, uncles, everybody's very supportive of what I'm working on, and they look forward to seeing what I create. And when it comes to me, I'm, as you've known so far, I'm always putting so much pressure on myself. All I can say is that I will be happy and not stressing out when the actual thing is actually complete and finished. Then I will be happy. Currently now, I am stressing. But that doesn't mean I'm not enjoying the process. I'm just like, I just don't like to make mistakes. But of course you're gonna make mistakes, because that's how the whole process works. So that's the end of the video. I hope you guys like it, and I do apologize if I didn't verbally explain myself properly, but you will see better when I actually show you what I'm creating and what I'm trying to show you guys. And I hope that you like what I'm creating, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. So with that, like, subscribe, drop a comment down below, click on the little bell icon to be notified for any future videos. And if you want to see more of my work, you can scan the code right there so that you can go straight to my Instagram and see what I'm creating. And in the further videos coming up, I'll be discussing about the characters, what they're like, and what their roles are going to be. And I look forward to seeing you guys there. Alright, see you later.